Hello and welcome to my channel, Making Crafts. I'm back with a cat scrappiness design team project, and today I'm going to show you two very easy file cards that you can make in just no time at all. So I'm going to be using the Shimmering file and leaves. I'm also going to be using the Gobble Gobble 4x6 stamp set, as well as the coordinating die set. I'm going to be using the Gobble Gobble 6x6 paper pack, as well as the Autumn Glitter paper pack. And there will be a link to the shop below. So for the first card, you want to choose 4 different pieces of the 6x6 paper and cut a strip off that measures 1 1/4 inch wide. So I go through and cut my strips, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut the squares. So then we're going to cut each square at 1 1/4 inch wide. So you will get, I think, 4 pieces per strip. I'm also going to take the yellow glitter from the Autumn Glitter paper pack, and I'm going to cut it down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 to cover the front of my card. So then I'm just going to take the squares and I'm going to line them all up and just kind of do a dry fit to make sure I like how everything looks and all the pieces together. So then once I've done that, I've also gone ahead and stamped one of the little turkeys, and I have gone ahead and colored it in with my Oohoo markers. I've also cut out an oval from the oval dies, and I stamped Gobble Till You Wobble. So for this card, like I said, it's very simple. We're just going to line all of the squares up on the front of the card base, or the glitter base. Now this glitter base paper does not have texture to it. It is just as smooth as all of the other paper. It just has the glitter look to it. So these will stick just fine. And so I'm just taking these and just laying them out. Now if you want to be precise, I'm sure you could draw out a grid or use a ruler or something, but I'm just eyeballing it because these are handmade cards, and that's how I feel about handmade cards, is that I don't want it to be a store-bought card. I want people to know that it's handmade. So for me, it's okay if it's a little off. It does not have to be perfect. I do want it to look good, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So now I'm also going to just take and use some foam tape and pop up my little turkey, and I'm going to add just a little pumpkin beside him. Now for the pumpkin, I'm not going to pop it up. I'm just going to glue it down flat. Now I had a lot of fun coloring these turkeys that was in this stamp set, adding just different colors to their little feathers and things. So I thought they turned out very cute. And they're very simple to color. You don't have to be a colorist to know how to color these. They're small enough that you don't have to worry about doing a lot of shading. Now I am going to be using some of the Shimmering Fallen Leaves, and I'm going to be using my tool from Cat Scrappiness, and this is the dual-ended embellishment tool, and this one has a pickup end, and then the other end is a die poker tool where you can poke the little pieces out of your die cuts. But for now I am using the pickup end, and it works really great with these little bitty leaves that I'm adding to the card. So I'm just adding a few onto the oval piece with the turkey so that it looks like he has leaves falling around him. I love the different color leaves in the fall. Fall is really my season and my colors, and I just love any of the fall colors. And I love that Cat Scrappiness included turquoise in with these fall colors. So now I'm just going to go back and add a few dots of glue onto my card, and I'm just going to add some more of the Shimmering Falling Leaves around about the card. And if you have a spot on your card that there is too big of a gap or too little of a gap and you want to cover it, I think one of these little leaves fits in perfect, and it kind of takes your eye away from if you did make a mistake. Now there are some different color leaves in this pack, and so I'm just trying to rotate back and forth between the 2 different colors. And there's also some other little pieces that come in this pack. I'm not really sure what you call those, but those don't lay flat, so I did not add those to the card. I'm just going to put those back in my bag, and I'll use those in a shaker card later on. But I do love these, and like I was saying, fall is my colors and fall is my season, so I love making fall crafts. So here is the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of the yellow glitter cardstock. And I'm just trimmed it down to fit the base of my card so that you do not see the card itself. And so I'm just going to add it to the card. So the only thing that I really popped up was the little turkey, and the rest is just glued down. So I thought it would be fun, since the outside says Gobble Till You Wobble, I thought the inside needed to say Happy Thanksgiving. So I thought it would be fun to take some of the scraps left over where we cut the strips down. When we cut the strips down, you have a little piece of paper left over on each strip that does not measure 1 1/4 inch square. So instead of trashing those, I'm using those to make some little banners to hang down on the inside of my card, and then I'm just stamping Happy Thanksgiving on the inside. So what I did with the banners is I did trim one down smaller than the other, and then I'm just going to attach them to the top of the inside of the card and overlap them. I really think that this just adds to the inside of the card. So when you've got such a decorated card that when you open up the inside, and you do have a little bit of decoration on the inside as well. So here is the first card. It came together very quickly. You could make a bunch of these in no time at all, but today I just wanted to make one of each. So for the next card, I'm using some of the leftover paper from the previous card that we made. And so these are the 2 sheets that I cut 1 1/4 inch off of. And then this is the yellow paper that I cut down for the card base of the last one. I also die cut another oval out, and I've stamped and colored in another one of the turkeys using my alcohol markers, which is the Oohoo markers. I really love those markers. So for the first piece, for the yellow plaid, I'm just going to trim it down to 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to be using a white card base, so the white card base will frame around this. I'm also trimming my yellow piece down to 4 inches wide. And then for the sunflower paper, I'm cutting it down to 1 1/2 by 4. So once again, this is a very simple card to put together. So I am curious, when you make Thanksgiving cards or you make Christmas cards, do you make them all the same, or do you mix it up and make different cards for different people? For me, I don't like doing the same thing over and over. If I needed to make a bunch, I would, just to make it a lot easier. But since I don't have to make a lot for these, I like mixing it up and making several different style cards and send them to different people. And I kind of like to think about the person I'm sending it to and kind of match them. And I already know who I'm sending this one to for Thanksgiving. I think it'll be perfect for them. So I really enjoyed playing with these, and I loved getting a stamp set like this and a paper pack, and because the possibilities are endless. You can make so many different style cards and so many different cards with these paper packs and stamp sets. So for this one, I am going to pop up the oval. I popped up the turkey as well as the oval because of the thickness of the paper going across the card. I felt like that the oval needed to be popped up. If not, then the 2 ends would be either bent down or sticking up, depending if I glued them down or not. So now I'm just coming back with some of the Sunflower Fields sprinkles, and these are in the shop as well. These were released, I think, this month possibly. And so I'm going to just add those to the oval just to dress it up a little bit and to match the sunflowers that are on the paper on that little strip. So I love how fast these came together, and I love that I could use the papers left over from the card before so that there's not a lot of waste. I don't like to waste my paper. I like to use it all up. And then I save the scraps, and I will make some sort of card with those when I get done. Now for this one, I'm doing the same thing. I'm adding Happy Thanksgiving to the inside, and I'm using some of the scraps that were left over from trimming different bits off of these, and I'm just using those to make 2 little banners, and I'm just hanging those at the top of the card, or just gluing them, not hanging them, but just gluing them to the top of the card and overlapping them just like I did for the other ones. These little strips were a little bit thinner strips, but I thought they were just as cute this way. So I love using my scraps this way and decorating the inside of the card. So like I said, there's the endless possibilities with this stamp and die set as well as with the paper pack. So I hope that you have enjoyed seeing me put these together, and hopefully they've inspired you to create some Thanksgiving cards or some fall cards. And I will link to the shop below. I appreciate you using my affiliate link. It does help out my channel. And I'll also put a list of the products that I used. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.